Disintegrate my inner cage, let me escape. Reclaim my name, I kept my aim, salute my name. It's Cage World taking over with the nation. Cage World taking over with.
Well, hello again, but for Sidcast, we're back. This is part 2 of Tazi. From part 1, more guys. I remember we finished Moelem for it. Now, interview again at Ketao Popa, like Yamudimu Atene King, costume and was what was needed on the day we interview. And he passed the interview, okay, no, Elore, Okreya span as well. He starts working as a technician. These are the years they started his 2008 to 2010 journey, if I'm not mistaken, Nancy.
Yes.
So dinta kwena span as well as support as well.
Yeah, outfit plus lady brains, and I was prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was well prepared for the interview, né? So that's a very interesting time, né? Because all along, when no motho kene spanning se sharp.
Sure.
So now technicians are never fika in really true. He were really true. It was me and Mr. Motolo.
Dries.
I was and Dries Mo. You know, like a crop, like an animal. And then, government thing of it oriented to that standard procedure and stuff like that. So there was a need. A need Hanerefika was shortage. Not a shortage in I would say the lecture.
Sure.
So when primary job in a labor technician, but the rest started initiate to into lecturing. Get my point.
Yeah.
So yeah. For to that time, you working responsibility and remember academics or an institution. System it's well designed. And well designed, it's coordinated.
Sure.
And in a little timeline, you have in total Cameling achieve a kind of eating. So we understand that everything is laid out for you. Let me say, you know good and well what's supposed to happen, when, how, whatever. So things that you are interested in now,
affordability call, and you can afford to go out anytime, buy what you want.
Technician sharp, but affordability thing. Sharp, and then increased workload. So that's when now pressure
Start.
Pressure start and about who engage. And remember certain jobs like teaching. I want to engage about like lecturing, understand? Society plays or Honali emphasis ba e beyang kila wona tlamehile o be certain way man. Now society is you describe our. So now remember there's a point I was an ordinary man. I want an ordinary guy blessed. Because in the pusher. So now you get into a job where something is expected of you. You are a professional somebody now. So now your roles are defined. So now you stop being ordinary, you become a professional, and by professional now becomes your norm. So that was my new normal. Becoming a professional.
I get to say the new normal game now. You're moving from ordinary.
Yeah.
You're moving from the ordinary phase into your new normal, which is the professional one.
Yeah, you see another change of scenery, change of responsibility. Ke new normal, you kila bona. And that's when I would say life is started challenge as well, you know. You have to overcome. Because everything you learned in your life must apply now. Can you cope with pressure? You know, are you flexible? Can you know, when I was a student, or authority, you know, or well presented, understand that. So that new normal, Italy, the standard, the standard of living, all lecture, you have to go. You must get your act together, you know what I'm saying?
There are people who look at you. When I was there, I understand that transition. I understand.
Hey, and being a young guy, you know, blessed, coming from out of the ordinary to the new norm. Now things started interesting. So now, referencing back, there's a lifestyle to repeating. There's a lifestyle to repeating. In a little positivity and a little negativity. But now, affordability thing, guarantee thing. Na lentswe le re le ratang government teng man kana ke ntho ke tla le hopola ntse re bua etsa o hiruwe o show aspana gore ha ona ntho o permanent permanent. So that's when now real pressures because now as a professional in an academic institution, you know, you rely mostly on knowledge and leona, intellect how you say
it starts to become visually because the new generation is coming of people wanting to learn. You have to be so fast to root the way.
And then remember how you know lower levels you have Batuwaka supervisors, you know. My supervisor is Mr. Knight. He's a white guy. Nako, you know what nako jwang. You know, that's what we give that to them. So pressure diata, challenges diata. Now you have to perform. So now remember, to technician, and you've been initiated, I would say, extra responsibility. Your lecture, Now, how or start out cope, because you are in your new norm, you have to acclimatize, adapt, and most are honing or just start to cope, and then that's where coping mechanisms di start down, and then who cope or depend out what personality how what are the characteristics how what kind of a person are you, now where you come from, things still and they define you. Somehow get on as a cope. So you find the lifestyle we can take escape we're in a position where weekend is our escape. I'm to dia meal or stress, inca. But now remember, things are real. You must deliver.
Yeah, you must deliver. No. Accountability is key,
Hey, you must deliver now. So pressure builds up. It's a build up. I build up. I have a supervisor. Hey, well organized. Muta wanako. You pieces. And the mistake you had yet hala. Well, that's when you start seeing so now coping here more. I'm not saying Hadibuaji, I want to say a positive. There are a lot of positives.
Yeah.
I'm out there, But now, what is defining now? Define. How do you wrong? How do you cope? How do you adapt? How do you improve yourself? How do you keep on maintaining? Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge was there. So escape in a good I know when and they don't drink, they don't, about 70% as part of social life, but I come from that. I want weekend I get sharp. So, but now remember, if stress is under pressure, coping is that very difficult, and that's when you start realizing, how so no so nella so nella diamelo so nella se ne batona na kanto tsitse
Yeah.
ha sa na bjala ba ile bjala o so na bjala wa ile substance ile o reng e play a certain part so batho ha re tshwane ha re se bedisika ka for mabaka tshwana
so so these are the first diagnosis how to do the taller like from that 2010 you become diagnosed with the diagnosis that which leads
okay there's a point ki maintainile ki copile and then remember there's work life and then there's your own personal life. Personal life into the love life, into the social life, into the ntho as motho kamelo o tsebo balance ntho tseo kaofela 2008 I maintained, 2009 I maintained. 2010 things were hectic. A lot was expected from us, that's when motho starta bona I can't meet that target. Sometimes motho ha o kgone ho etsa di practical ntho tse teng I would say timetabling, you can't achieve why you business so there are some things still when you really miss hard and it takes a toll on you because that's a personal profession. Personal because where am I
where you account, Baba. You must account.
If it's not practical, why? My student, my student, about cannot say be. So 2010, that's when breakdown started. I think that's when I started losing control from work. It's like work pressure, deadline, and then those things started the overlap to personal life. So I was spanning, how you can why you persist. Started already into the tricky. Sometimes, I tell I am a gimme. So a whole lot of things happened, but the one defining moment was back then. So behavior but I'm special. I won't mention them now. But I'm special. Yeah. So what what? Love life became in turmoil. Work was in turmoil. There was an instant we'll attempt not attempt, but we'll overdose. Me involved in work,
Yeah.
And then that was my first breakdown was that. I can't. And then that was the first encounter. Personality, for what is this? For counseling.
Counseling. So this is where you accept you're an addict or you are depressed.
I guess I accept.
You just consult.
I guess I accept. I'm escaping now. Understand I'm in denial. So you start also stress only depression, That's how they are fancy words. Wow. Until they apply to you. So also it's a word. I mean foko. So the first diagnosis I someone enabling to I'm doing a severe depression. Okay, severe. That was the diagnosis. So even doctors, how doctor, if was a disclose information, they're going to diagnose you according to the information and what they see. So now I get an idea of what I'm dealing with, something like this. Man, I can live fear, because
there's a possibility.
There's a possibility because there's history, I guess, in my family, alcoholism. But Leona, it is a face we straight because if we share a society, sometimes we glorify protect. So coming from that history, seeing some of my close family relatives, very close, suffering. Like I mentioned, before, understand the thing, never accept because addiction, I saw vocabulary I saw open dialogue, So re sebedisa go rationalize, re sebedisa, there are a lot of theories. I want, and then theories tse leng they are prevalent, tse leng di tlwaelehile bathong ba batsho, you know, ke blowi. I want to say o jisitswe wa bona nthanyana tse wa so now nna ke a suspect wa bona because the encounter tsa pele ne to jumpela to 2002 before ke drop out wa bona. I think ke mo ke ileng ka starta ke experience my first hallucinations wa bona. But kana eo ne se ka lebala ka ireng yane ya batho ba ne ba kenwa ke bodimona. So o jwetsa batho go bona ntho tse sa bonweng ke batho, understand gore le wena jwale o ka nna wa suspectiwa gore hey ma ke ka Mzilana possessed. So hallucinations ke ntho tse leng ke ile ka di experience one, but I keep on keep on now what is happening to me, no? But wa utlwa ke stress sane sa gore ish motho a drop out wa e faith inka ska le stress se lo. So now has a ke 2010 gore ke say, you know, for admission ke twana, I have my own fears. But I'm still in denial, and then remember now the danger here is I'm in my new norm. Lecture sebedisa kelello ya ka ish nka se tlo amohela gore ke na le bothata ba kelello ma. Wow, now that's a lot of denial started. So now I think now Dr. Ilan Tusa le no ntse ke mo hlompha le today Dr. Kwekwe. Wow.
Dr. Man?
Kwekwe.
Yeah.
Ke ana motho ile gona gore you know what I'm there handle because kana kwenu ke bona na le ntwane ya gore batho ba be lost wa bo.
Ke my therapist jwalo ne.
Yeah, ke batho ba sebetsang ka
psychology therapist along those sides.
So now motho jalo starta o ba le reality ya hao e le reng e se le ya hao liwa, and that's where now o tryang ho ba normal, and once o show the signs of addiction or signs of mental illness, trying to be normal is a dangerous thing. Because you're going to hide whatever it is. And then that's the reality of batho ba bangata ba nang le mathata a ntho, you know what, nako ya go fela you trying to hide what you actually feeling as an individual, what you actually going through. So now I remember, man, ke a sepatala ke khutla ai sharp stress sa gone re patala tšheltenyane re etswa spane se sengata wa utlwisa ona nthonyana tse ngata, there are a lot of dynamics involved and we expected to do as ntho tsena tse paya wa utlwisisa. After 2010 ka be ke ria ke decide ka mo thusa ntate Dr. Kwekwe, you know what, a go re ke be sober and that was also eye-opening because ke ile ka admitwa spona sepetlele se seng ba ke Carino ka mora national wa bona qala lo kopana le sona le wa bona. So ba o thusa ka medication ba o stabilizer, and then how to remember you go back to the real world,
to the very same environment.
Yeah, ne o re mo e balehile yana khutlela yo wa bo. Now ha o khutlela ka mane o treatiwe ka di medication ka nthonyana tseno, but ha o fika ka ntle o tlo trya ho etsa ho ba normal, o batla go khutlela lifestyle nyane o etse ba wa bo. So ho starta ho ba normal, ho starta ho ba dangerous ha o fihla moo. Wa bona? You know, man, there's an issue with me, man. Ke na le evidence, ke na le reference tse itseng, mara denial plays a part. Wa bona? Ha hona motho a batlang ho associate le mental illness. Wa utlwisisa?
Yeah.
Like for example, we all accept ha motho a na le cancer, lung cancer, ra mmona o hema bohloko. Re kgona ho ba le sympathy for yena, wa bona? So kelello ntho e thusang hore o nke di-decision tsa every day. Ha o kula yona, o understand o wela kae wena. O professional. You get my point?
Yeah.
So from 2010, after admission, ka ba sober. And that was also eye-opening because now from 1996, it's a little busy the substance.
That's
Because cigarette is a substance, it's can stimulate. It's a stimulate. Nicotine is a stimulus. There was a point when Kitsuba Matekwan, you know, or like you got 12 and it gets standard 9. Understand? So I really in 12 on pieces. So our pieces are out was standard 6. And I understand to start like Asian.
Yeah.
Your brain hasn't fully developed. The starting to of which no incident kids experiment at very young ages. That's what we also do. But now the effects it's until because it takes a while. I think for me it took a while until I got everything. I've been blessed. So ka baka la go ila ba le nthonyane extreme ya motho a overdose nga ha o finyana le nna ka re ke utlwa man, you know what, and that helped me to be sober. Ka ba sober for 2 years. From 2010, 11, 12, and those were the best years because eventually
that's the years how they get of course, those are the years where Vista was there.
o fitlhile ke sena stress re qeta ho thola di-promotion wa bona re tswa bo technician official re kena bo lecturing, you know. Yeah, the pay is good wa bona e compensate the workload now when you see. So for me, after a very long while, you understand, okay, over sober again, over sober, okay. It ain't life, it's non substance, man. Maradente ke tlo enjoy machine, you know. Our social life, but then I think party loring in 50 there was a partner you know, so I would virtually do a lot of things here. But remember, once you lifestyling you lose friends. Oba la batho ba sa o tlose pela bona wena o tlo itlosa pela bona.
Yeah, you become an isolation.
Wa increases. So I come 2013, 2014. SS. Sa khutla stress. Sa khutla stress. Serious. Like anybody else, nobody is immune to stress. Saji. As a khutla ntate ai. Sa khutla se le sebe.
So
And then now relapse. Relapse. Wow. That's when I relapsed. Wow. Ke khutlela kae jwale le relationship yane monate yane ne fetse
yonke into yamosheka manje
ka ke relapse yabo and in no short space of time ke ithola ile hore you know what this motho ile hore you know what o pregnant ka ngwana wa ka yabo ha ke soka ke deala ka relationship yane e fetse jwang ka nqena I'm expecting
a child relapse
that's the time I got introduced to gambling yabo because I remember man ibile nthonyane e swaka man wa bona rivaela cousin ya ka re ikela ka windmill wa
sure
ya bona ke soka ke gamble next wa bona ke tseba loto ha ina di emotions man loto ke pampiri wa bona
yeah so
this is the numbers for none it is na emotion wa bona ka fitla ntho windmill ka kopana le di slot machine
yeah
atiki ke ni di hele
that's
so now ya relapse ke khutlela jwale ne a ke relapse I develop a secondary addiction kia gambling remember I'm a smoker happy there's a third addiction I can maintain on a daily basis which is smoking
sure
so now can I addiction is 3 tse running parallel why
gambling alcohol le smoking
leng kaos wabo so gambling the danger ya yona e jwane it messes up your finances and once your finances are messed up your life quickly because you need money to survive so if only habit kapa behavior bo loreng you know what o ka hara bona bo qetela tjhelete
yeah because gambling because you want it so bad winner ingata so bad into spending
one gambling it's a mal di emotions wabo everything you got emotional how can light tsa teng di dim sharp wabo ha mkha cigarette ha mnate you understand batho ba ka mono o bone ka nkare ba relax data o tsebe ba dutse ba nwa dintho tse mnate wa bona batho e mone wa ektuba so for me ka motho you know what ke bile le bothata ba addiction ba ntse ke bopata you know sa batho bo bontsha you know wa bona gambling ke wetse fast very fast yabo and how starter imnati because man the small win wabo anyukunyana tse hayi utlwa lo yena man how re mfethu monna your mind now is dula inahana ntwi yabo go jale now o ba le o developer compulsion you develop a state where you cannot control yourself I came to a state where you know what hakile whatever tjhelete ke tshwereng ya sala
that's
langa baka wila wabo kore ke feel hore a khutlela hape re ba bona kore
I get more
mo a ke tsebe ke describe jwang
Yeah.
Wow. O start to develop that compulsive behavior, you know. Once o kena ka da so o dula sloteng kapa once o fitla environmenting you know, understand it's as if you black out. Wow.
Yeah,
Because,
like the mind blacks out from normally ordinary thinking at some point this thing like it becomes so blacked out to point it sees that in me as something normal. It's the new norm of how you behave.
so now remember the other thing is there's a state addiction it really affects your brain. Wow. So understand that obali sickness or obali illness. Wow. You can't control, yet you are forced to hide.
And it's all it starts
Why? Sometimes in how to 100 rand because there are a lot of triggers, there are a lot of cues. So remember how go the lifestyle and your escape like the weekend. It started really hola. How say escape like a weekend because on stress, you know. How can allow tshwara tšhelete kapa o experience emotions those are your cues, those are your triggers. And mentally they happen so quick. As an ordinary human being, you can't stop them. You can't. And you enter into a world where now you self-sabotage. You come na to o ikutlwisa bohloko
yeah,
because o kopana le something o kena into a state where boko ba hao bo e batla mmele wa hao soul ya hao ha e kgone ho thiba kelello ya hao hore o etse o lo ya there. But eventually you know tšhelete ha e fela ho ba jwang ke tlo ba le mathata o tlo etsalang the repercussions, consequences how to ile stating seo into tso tlameleng o dile le tsona. But once o kena stating seo you forget all of them. Because it's the biggest escape, mental escape you can ever experience. So even and then now you start here, you can't handle your finances, you can't do this, you can't do this. Why? Well, so now remember, the time I was sober, that is why for me it was a blessing. Because now I'm facing this reality now. When I really taking the experience, I was sober, and when I get sober, great things happened. Promotion. That's when I bought my first car. That's when a whole lot of things
was happening. Like it there was celebration. Like there was that. Who was there again? If I can call it. Yeah.
So no relapse. What do you relapse? I'm gambling. And gambling, I was like part of my so now gambling in Raya Hanya, and that's when you start entering into financial problems. Remember one out there. Yeah. So now the other reality, most but one mental illness by experience is denial, relapse. Relapse e tla le ntho tse ngata tse negative. You blame yourself. You feel you are a loser again, and then nna ke relapse e le hore se ke entse nthonyana tse batlang di le interesting spanning. Nako ene ke le sober ne ke kgona ho ema ka pla di-colleague re bua ka stress, re fana ka di-presentation tsa stress. Understand the no participation here. So now you come from a point where you embraced something, you stood in front of the whole department. Like what?
Said this, yeah.
Stress, depression. Jiggy, where that happened? I'm a small banyana bomb Mzilana, but
yeah.
Where that happened? Right, so now it started, it eats you now. Yeah, phela le monster wa hao o jang liwa. So the other reality ya ntho tseo ne theories, right? You start blaming. Spanning ho tjena, spanning ba ntsamaela. Yeah. Mama wetsa tjena, wabo. All this is, and akbatle gore, that's to kill time, but it can be your reality.
Yeah,
But once ska ga lo shimiza ga lo na thubiase ga le majita, we can talk msadi one stress enca medium ba ya nerves enca to kill time. That's fine. But once it becomes a reality, or justifier, or try to justify why everything is falling apart around your life, get this, get this. Now that's where the blame game comes. That's where now you can't admit to people, you know what, deterioration it's because of a certain behavior I can't control. So now I guess she was smart. What the bonaga speed. She was a smart person. Okay. And she was able, to continue, but it got to a point where, you know what, virtually it's becoming impossible for her now. Because now, remember what comes with gambling. There's debt.
Yeah.
And then alcohol consumption here increase. And cases natural casual, yeah, gambling. It over you start missing deadlines. You start by UGCs and downfall again in a public because in public. So now you start working with that shame. There's a way they think is stigma. Leon, it's a fancy way. Also called Copana Leon. Also Copana Leon. But how this is our they didn't know able to so understand the now that's a public fall. Because I was once an advocate of mental health. So how can you relapse in front of Matubelo? Now that is my reality now. But I'm in a state where I'm compulsive. I can't handle this. I have to be a lecturer. I have to be there for my students. I have to cope at work. Those things I cannot run away from. I must pay rent. I must do this. I must do that. So now, imagine managing a professional career, managing the birth of your child. Those are supposed to be, moments of glory. Yeah, moments of glory. You understand? But Yet you are in this, mental loop. How can we break? So I guess kika 20. That is why I'm gambling. I ain't gonna bet it.
Yeah.
2013, 14, I think 14, 15. Kabalela spatala ha. Ene le SK piga na kwe.
Because as you guys documenting your howling thing here, guys got money.
You know what? Oyamono just to get away, save your job, save your reputation, and then how could come on, but to feel sorry for we. No, Mzilana wakula. Why you this?
Pity, you look basically looking for pity at that stage.
I am not like that. Because it will validate. Why it will validate? Ne? Okay, nekahara situation when you have to deal with a whole lot of decisions. They're wrong, they're killing, Camelo fixing to ngata. And remember, making mistakes is very quick. Getting things back in order, the process.
The process, yeah.
So now, I got hospitalized. Mara, nigga, by your plan, like about the exam. I know you want, hey, Mr. Night, Mr. Night, that's the malam.
Food into that.
Why about that question paper? Yes. And with how I share, also patale them and how I share, also it's how I share, hey, one, I can train baby mama can train, why you? So, moto ya spatala happy, I remember. Funny thing, yeah, we include. Funny thing. That's the Kiriki Spatar. The Copala Lit Traffic Corp, or get a ticket to get Patar as an NA.
Yeah, I remember.
Eh, but it's a way. I'd be somebody. What a man, my lamb, I get him present. I'm shocked. I'm on my way to the hospital. My world is falling apart now. Once I get admitted, they'll have to see with the question paper. They must have a contingency plan, and I'm in a place where you know what? Safe. Safe in a sense that I'm in an environment where I have to be. But haki because ke change. Haki because it is something I aspire to. Haki careless copy.
Yeah.
On a serious note now. I'm trying to save my job, my reputation, everything. Ulysses. I like you include ba ile bang ka ba lahlela park ver. Ke tsama ka tjara re nngwe ya smartphone, me phone eo le yona eo.
Yeah.
The following day, bail was posted 300. So now you can imagine, I have a full-time job. I earn close to maybe 20. Daily at 3,000 alcohol. Not even 3,000 joke. Well,
Yeah, it was 300. Yeah, remember that thing. Hallway came and like,
Emon. Atale khwale o le mpotsa la judge. Mr. Malema ka khola ntsa bail. E ke tram tlhalosetsa ntho tse ngata. Judge. O tlabala 300. Goba nka so ntshe mahala wa sebetsa. Ke tsena ke responsibility ya. I cannot 300. So you can imagine the shame. You can imagine all those things. start calling work. Yes, pani, Mzilana o tshwere. Batho ba utlwisise malemele na o tshwarwa ntse etsa. O gola di-exam ena e mane na o tshwere. Batho ba focused mona batho ba le excited wena o hla di-call tse ikelang kwana.
Sedanyane ba.
Wow, eventually I went out of options. You remember, no lefapheng a ke sa hopola no etsa no extension.
At that time I was still private. There was this old lady, I won't mention her by name, expanded company. She was an implementing agent by the time. So
well, that's when I decided to call you, and that's when you came, bailed me out. Luckily, what's it?
That's as good.
So I understand all those things, ne? To try to generalize, just to make your point. When I point to you know what, you lose power, lose control, lose self-worth, lose nothing hard. I was behind on car payments. I remember I got in a fashion debt review, something. Why this is anything that could spare you a bag, wow. Why this is SS. And the country, you know,
yeah.
And Scalaba. More to I say tafule, I say people see you. Wow. Energy how but I feel. If you say sharp,
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, part you can hide it, you can mimic it, you can do whatever it is, you know, deep down you know. Wow. Sorry. So now there's another dark side. Wow. We are the petrol. Remember the petrol about Tusaka medication. Medication was strong. I remember 2010, I never Dr. Pokon and choose. I'm going to operate a posanya.
Oh, no stress about labels. Continue.
So there's another dark side in your exit. Back in 2010, the doctor Ilan Tusa Makala. There was one mention because throughout several hospitalizations to corporate doctor, you know, psychiatrist, you understand?
Sure.
Because I think after 2010, I've been hospitalized 3 or 4 times in between, and that's a lot.
That's a lot of time, yeah.
In a short piece of time, or in a short period. So, Motobi and Twitter, we're on a board. I'm if it was a question, back out well, because back then in the so I'm you know what, the medication of for try or at least 2 to 4 years. And from 2010, 11, 12, which on 12, 13, I relapse. I think nearly 2.5 years. I guess I changed 4 years, because now you did the medication, strong. So now the other reality it's I never but now after hospitalization, ga ke sana tolerance ke batlang ya pele ya alcohol. My tolerance dropped. So there was another addiction lingering in ke mention. Odima tse mentioned smoking, alcohol, now there was gambling. Now there was another hidden addiction. I cannot handle my liquor. Oh, and there are instances where you know what, the way they say me like a thing, man. Plaka ka lebanta la ka la ke le fasitjena. There's a term ya where you know what, I'll talk a plaka wa bona ka. Banta la ka ne le tsamaya ka bo ma 6 bo ma 7. Banta la ka se le tsamaya ka 2 jwa. Plaka jwa se ke lusa timing se ke wa nkisi. And if I cannot go, I'll raise it in a local. So why I'm saying this is another addiction. You mentioned. Wow. There's a substance mainly is the truck drivers. Wow. Into a booster energy. Wow. It's well known out there if you are into that life. It's a kid. Wow. Maybe it's a promens cocaine. Understand?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like with
Wow.
yeah, kila fella, let us see kila picture. There are other kids waiting for the use that.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Right? It's everywhere. So now I got introduced to it because national point mo long ish motho jala sna bonyo ya gamble kila wa ka skimal mautilshin se ma o ka le motho a sana tolerance ya ya pele ya. Wow. Then I got introduced. And Leon, now that's a fourth layer.
Yeah.
The addiction. So it means hakala ke tshwara dia kamele ke tshwara date kamele ke thole date hore se ke ithola ke blackout ile behind the wheel.
Udulole well balanced.
So yona o tshong ine tsamaya le ine le mogotsi wa di wa and then gambling, hoping, or you know what, I'll chase my losses up until I win. And you know what, there's a universal truth that the house always wins. You understand?
Yeah.
Little movie it's that the house always wins. So forget in 2000 about with that all. Hey, winners know when to stop. That message doesn't mean anything to me.
Exactly. That's just a part of marketing.
I mean, it's for cover up as part of police, but for a
House always
I mean for go. Well, so now you are in this, you are deep in this. Wow. Yes. So that's when I started realizing this is cause your stress is saga. The thing is sometimes my depression. I could have coped in Spain and into take off fella. Cause your take off fella was my addiction. Wow. It started making sense. Remember, you know, it's not in everyone's dialogue. Jwala ha re bonwa, jwala ka bo protect, you know, ebile bo mnate ka batho ba feel hore you know what, they have a sense of control. No, I can control myself. It's a role in now I can control myself, but remember now I'm on my fourth one.
Yeah.
Simultaneously. Loud disease and every monster Asia Asian tea. You gamble, you tell us naturally. There are a lot of things still over for you to end up with the you know. As naturally to hide your sorrows, you drink alcohol. Understand? Alcohol really on how tolerance you know. Stimulant ki se na le sona se lo so keeper ke caffeine yana ya jwaleng
Yeah.
keeps the adrenaline pumping.
We've got like 4 addictions going on simultaneously at the same time. They
Because Leona addiction, and which is one of the most gateway one for like just like weed, just like alcohol. They are gateway or start my word. Like if we share one o ka se solo tsuba heroin.
Starter food cigarette.
O qala tsane tse nyane tsane tse le hore socially they are accepted, you know. Wa utlwisisa. And o go sheba gore now that's a life. As a professional you have to maintain. Wow. You have to wake up every day, stand in front of wow.
These
And
people.
that's when everything is that I fall off. I got physically sick. Kila one. National na come loring the sick no to blood care. Wow. So now, Sheba, the danger here, there's a norm. Wow. You are an intellectual. Opaki patala for my capacity ka mo. Hokula yona ntwi.
Yeah.
Yona engineer.
The biggest engine in the world is the brain.
Wow. And deniality. Wow. So now, I guess for an ordinary supporter ya podcast ya hawa, what I've just explained is I've just given back to clue here why do some people sometimes commit suicide. Understand?
Yeah.
Imagine in your life, you have all those things. Oka hara professional or you under a lot of scrutiny, or you are working with stigma or increases. Or emotionally you are drained, mentally or hopeless. But you still have to maintain certain things.
Yeah.
So for Batuaba, they go to a point where the last resort is just to, I'm hopeless. And that's how people take their own lives.
Yeah. Like that mental blackout you spoke about, it's the same reference to those other Silbonor. You become so mentally blacked out. This is the only thing that's ordinary in the mind.
Remember, addiction is a mastermind. You become a super manipulator. You get to you know what? You know how to get what you need to get.
Yeah.
Like for example, there's something still I was ashamed. But you know what? Just to put them in the light.
What are you waiting for? Play your role now. Follow my lead.